Nas,
Ya,
kita mari sini review Range Rover
Evoque.
Evoque.
Ya.
Ini baru ke? Aku nampak sama je. Hi guys, so today I am at the Jaguar Land Rover showroom in Damansara. I was here to pick up the new Range Rover Evoque, but because it's raining outside and I'm on a tight schedule today, so I'm going to film the walk around here using the showroom demo cars. And so right here you can see there are two variants of the Evoque available in our market. That is the core model, all right, priced at 430,000 ringgit. This is the R Dynamic variant. This is the version that we are testing, but a different unit, priced from 475,000 ringgit, excluding options. So, of course, this is the top spec variant, but what is surprising to know is that despite the large price gap between these two, right, about 50,000 ringgit price gap between these two, they are not that far apart in terms of equipment. So the differences between these two, okay, firstly, engine. Both of them run the same 2-liter Ingenium turbocharged petrol engine of the JLR group, but that one there makes 200 PS, 320 Newton meters of torque. This guy here has 249 PS, 365 Newton meters of torque. Both of them are connected to a 9-speed automatic gearbox sourced from ZF. Now, in terms of equipment, the deficit that this guy faces relative to this, if you don't include the body kits, the R Dynamic body kits, are actually relatively minimal. Okay, wheel size. This one here, 20-inch alloy wheels. That one also 20-inch alloy wheels, but a different design. So really, much of the differentiation between the core model and the R Dynamic model really is cosmetic, all right, both interior and exterior. In terms of function, this one gains adaptive cruise control and front fog lights. But one rather bizarre omission is that the core model actually does without blind spot warning. Now, why do I say it's bizarre? Because what Land Rover has done is they've put a very clever extension to the blind spot monitoring system. Let me show you. So you see there's a car coming on the side mirror, right? Observe this. Observe this. As the car approaches, this triangle light flashes to warn you of an oncoming vehicle. And there it comes again. All right. And another one. Very, very clever. And they even have it for the back door as well. So you see that car coming, and I open my door and pop. You see the warning is flashing right here. Very, very clever, very, very thoughtful. Now, so you see, even though this core model also has this, door opening warning system, which I would assume it feeds is fed from the same sensors that services a blind spot warning system. This core model has the door open warning, but does not have blind spot warning. So that to me is a bit bizarre. Now, one more thing that the R Dynamic gains that this one does not. Okay, you will have to look closely at the shark's fin antenna. Okay, so do you see that camera up there? Let me just demonstrate this to you. So now I go inside. All right, and I will start up the electronics of this car. Okay, and so now you see here, this is the rear view mirror, right? Now I flick this, tada. This is being fed with image from the that shark's fin antenna mounted camera there. Why this is there? It's because when you look at the back, okay, now this one has panoramic sunroof, so you don't really feel that much, but our demo unit that we got does not have. Now this one, when you see here, there is a lot of blind spots. Okay, there is a lot of blind spots because of the thick D pillars at the back. So this one helps you see past the blind spot. So you can see here, right, the range, the viewing range of this, okay, is behind the two cars. So basically, this camera allows you to see, okay, from your perspective all the way up to here, okay, completely unobstructed view, okay, which to me I think that is very, very thoughtful. Okay, so I'll explore the rest of the car's interior with our demo unit. Here for now, let me just further bring you around the design of this car from the outside. So cosmetically, right, if you were to look at the front end and compare the front ends, right, you would see that the core model has a relatively simpler looking front end. The lower edges of the bumper is also designed to give it a slightly more utilitarian, a more rugged kind of look, whereas with the R Dynamic, it's obvious the design is meant to communicate sportiness, okay, and you can see actually, right, if you look closely, the molding of both bumpers are more or less the same. They are more or less the same, okay. It's just that with the core model, it's just this one piece, okay, of gloss black trim here, okay, whereas in the R Dynamic model, this same opening, okay, they fit this more aggressive looking fangs here, okay, and of course there's the front fog light here as well. This is the module for the advanced driver assist feature for this car, and this particular example that you see here, right, with the Range Rover wording darkened, this grille darkened, this has what they call the black pack trim. That is a 6,000 ringgit option if you choose to have it. Now another distinguishing feature, distinguishing trim feature of the R Dynamic trim is this piece here. All right, this is as you can see here, that there's no real arrow, no opening here, so it's a purely decorative piece, okay. And here you can see well, this design, this clamshell bonnet of the Evoque, okay, it runs here, and what they do here is they give a bit of a rise here to parallel to the wheel arch. Then it comes down like that, and they insert this trim here that connects into the door. Slight misalignment here between these two lines that seems to be consistent actually across all the cars that we observed. And you can see also the lower section of the car. Now here there's the R Dynamic trim badge here, okay, this is gloss black trim. Over there in the core model, this is a matte trim, okay, this is matte finished, and here this piece, this lower trim piece here also is a plain looking trim piece, whereas there with the R Dynamic one, it's flared outside for a sportier appearance. As I mentioned earlier, both rims measure 20 inches. It's just that the designs are different. The R Dynamic trim naturally gets a sportier looking design. Okay, now we look at the rear view. The R Dynamic trim there has a fully darkened with a black pack, okay, fully darkened lower bumper trim. This one, once again, has a slightly more rugged appearance to it, which honestly I think this is a more visually appealing design to me, okay. And compared to the previous gen Evoque, a notable design feature is that they have slimmed the tail lights, okay, and the Range Rover badge is given great prominence here, okay. And yeah, so overall a very you look at it, I personally, looking at this, the rear end, I actually prefer the standard rear end compared to the sportier rear end. Okay, but one more thing to look at here. This is the reverse camera. Now, you may be wondering, what is this, right? This is actually a washer for the reverse camera in case, you know, it's rain or it's muddy, it's dirty. This is a washer to wash your reverse camera. So as you would expect, the car has keyless entry. It's a button type, but look, check out the show. All right, so once you lock the car, the door handles are flushed to open it, which you can open from any of the 4 doors. Press this and the door handles come out. Side mirrors unfold. Very, very nice touch. Okay guys, so now we are in the unit of our assigned media unit, and well, I have to say, this interior, the overall build of this interior is just is superb. Fantastic selection of materials all around. Okay, all touch points are just lovely and beautiful. I particularly love this material, man. This is nice. Okay, this is, I can't make out whether this is leather or some fabric, but it's just nice to touch. Just listen to the sound it makes as I brush my palm over it. Okay, and well, this is just the normal leather that's from the seats. Okay, got satin chrome trim here with gloss black trim, and once again, I feel that this would have been really nice if there was a bit more contrast coloring to the design. Yeah, I think this monotone color scheme does not do the door card justice at all. Okay, this also is the same. I think this is the same material as the one here, so it's all nice to the touch. Okay, and here we have, this is the digital instrument panel. Okay, and let me just zoom out and show you something else. So here, these are the steering mounted controls, very neatly arranged, and these are not normal buttons. Check this out. So right now you see here, there's this menu button, right? I press this menu button and it changes. Okay, the display on this panel changes to match you know, according to what you press. So let's say now I'm in the menu mode. Okay, I can use this to browse through the menu down. Okay, all right, media. This is a driver assistance system, and you can even use this, go down to change your layout. So you can go 2 dials. This would be a more conventional looking dial. All right, you can go full map, so the whole thing becomes a map, and then all the driving data is just displayed in 2 lines below. Or you can go media, all right, which is, well, I suppose is when you activate I believe it will be like to show all your whatever your whether you're on Spotify, whether you're on Bluetooth audio, that kind of thing. All right, then you show driver assistance mapping. But how do you exit from this? That's the question, right? How do you exit from this? Okay, so there you go. So you have to go all the way up to exit. Let me just show you again. Layout. So I go to media. Yeah, one thing I feel the response to the button is not that good. All right, so you can see here, this is it shows you what's on your media list, and your layout, show full map. Yep, so there is no key, shortcut key to exit. All right, you have to scroll all the way up to exit. There's no shortcut key to exit. So now after you exit the menu, this becomes then your audio control, where you control your volume or you browse your channels. This is the Bluetooth telephone control. Let me just do a little experiment. I'll call NAS. All right, and you quickly see, right, it became like, you know, the green and the black, green and the red, you know, call and hang up icons. So very, very clever, very, very impressive looking as well. All right, so you move here. Okay, this screen has has a tilt feature. Let me just try and find see if I can find the tilt adjustment. Okay, so now you can adjust the screen angle. Okay, fully up, fully down. All right, you can adjust the screen angle, and you have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, cameras. Now this, I have to show you something. This car has the works with the cameras. Okay, you have your 360-degree camera there. Now of course, because it's raining, I can't give you a proper evaluation whether on the camera's performance, but I can say, looking closely, the resolution is good. The stitching, okay, as you observe, these corners are also decent. There's a bit of overlap here at the side there, but overall it's a comprehensible image, and you can choose to adjust. All right, you can choose to alter between various display settings. All right, you can choose either side. Okay, so the side, the left side camera is shrouded with water, no problem. So you can see here, this is the wide angle of the reverse camera. This is narrow angle of the reverse camera. Now this is cool, check this out. So this is what they call clear sight ground view. Okay, so I'm going to put the transmission into D, and I will move forward. And as you can see, right, what they do is now suddenly it's like you are seeing through your bonnet. This view allows you to see through your bonnet, but this section of the image here, of course, is not a live feed. All right, what happens is, as you travel, the computer remembers what it sees from here, and then it stitches the image as you go along. So this is very, very clever. All right, and I think it's useful, and it is impressive. Okay, so we come down here and we arrive at another screen. Okay, this screen allows you can choose to climate control. You can adjust your settings. This is all your drive mode control systems. All right, and it's all very impressively laid out, and you've got dual zone climate control here at the back. This one, this is also very this rotary knob gives good tactile feel, and you want to adjust fan speed, you have to press this, and the passenger side one becomes your blower adjustment. All right, you can then this is also the touch point for air recirculation, rear demister. Here you have max aircon, max rear air windscreen blower, traction control off. I can't imagine it can be that simple, right? I assume you have to hold it, right? Yep. All right, so this is hill descent control, and here this is the selector lever for the 9-speed ZF automatic transmission, shift by wire, and this is a nicely finished panel, but the practical side of me can't help but see that this is, well, just a lot of unutilized space. So here you have this tray here, which you can use to conveniently drop your phone, or you lift this up, and where do you stow this away? Okay, so here underneath this tray is the stowaway instruction for this, but down here you can see are two differently sized cup holders. All right, inside here, two USB ports, one micro SD card slot, and a 12-volt socket. All right, and so just to show you again, opens two sides. Okay, so passenger side and driver side can open independently if you're reaching only for a small object. Still on the center console, you can see down here, okay, there's another storage bay here. This is rubberized, and here there's a side tray here as well. which I think probably you can a bit. Hey, you can fit my phone here. Nice. All right, I'm going to take this back, and you can see over there the passenger side door card has memory has memory function. And here's the funny thing: the passenger side door, you can lock the door, but you can't unlock the doors. So you can use this to lock your doors, but if, as usual, right, the usual scenario, you go out and tap out food, your wife sit here at the passenger side and wait for you to come back. She can lock the door from there, but she will have to stretch here to unlock the doors when you come back. Okay, yeah, so this is the well, the light switch. It's not as bad as it was the last time I tested the Jaguar, but see the way this thing bounces when it retracts, not that impressive in my opinion. Okay, and what else? So you have a Meridian sound system here. So let's go to the back. Yeah. And well, in good SUV fashion, proper Range Rover, as you open the door, it's a full, you know, vertical full opening door. So you know, whatever dirt that you accumulate, you know, when you go off-roading, it all splashes here. When you go in and out of the car, you don't have to worry about that, you know, dirtying your pants or your dress. Okay, so we come to the back. Well, the rear door card is relatively simple. Okay, once again, I think this could be better served with, this really would be better served with a two-tone color scheme. Coming inside here, let me just sit in that. Okay, I must say, fantastic thigh support. I'm 177 centimeters tall. Good headroom, a fist of headroom. Leg room, distinctly average, but not at all cramped. So got aircon blowers. I can feel the wind from the aircon blowers here. You've got this little Evoque decorative trim here, a 12-volt socket down here. Okay, let me just try this. Armrest with molded cup holders. Honestly, this leather trim, this leather upholstery here doesn't look particularly impressive in my opinion. But overall, the seats offer, well, decent recline angle. Okay, appreciate that the Isofix mounts are clear and easy to locate. Right, so come and check out the boot space. Well, decent boot space. Open it up. That's a space saver spare tire here. So this is compartmentalized with a netting. You've got another 12-volt socket here. You've got this strap here to hold bottles. Two hooks here. Okay. Seats have split folding, but you can't fold it from the back. You have to come and fold it from inside the passenger compartment. Alright, so not a perfectly flat floor. Okay, drop this as well. But the connection is seamless. So you know, and they close the gaps here, so things don't drop off so easily, and that's good. The only thing is, when you fold this down, be sure that your seat belt runs together with the seat, so that when you close it back, things don't get trapped in there. And see here, there's this little runner here to hold the seat belt in place, which obviously it did not with this side. So you see, with this side, the seat belt is there, and it quite easily catches, prevents the seat from latching. So what you do is, yeah, just make sure the seat belt is held here and it closes properly. Okay, so that concludes the walk around. Time to take this car out for a drive. Evoque. And to recap, this is the R Dynamic variant, 249 PS, 365 Newton meters of torque. All that goes to the front and rear axle via a 9-speed automatic transmission from ZF. So how does it drive? Well, this with 249 PS, this engine is thereabouts in the ballpark of almost every other 2-liter turbo engine out there. Right? Whether you're talking about the BMW 30i engine, the Mercedes 300, the Volvo T5, or whatever that the Volkswagen Group has to offer, 250 PS is bang on the money. What most people are tuning their 2-liter turbo engines at these days. Okay, and on road, in terms of how it performs in the real world, this does feel like one of the stronger pulling 2-liter engines out there. But there is something, okay, and so you see right now I'm approaching a corner. Okay, so now I brake, and turn, step. There is a good 1 or 2 seconds of nothingness before the boost kicked in and pull you. All right, so there is a significant amount of lag from both the engine and transmission in responding to your call for acceleration. But once it responds, well, it goes. The suspension, okay, even though this is what they call the R Dynamic suspension, there is still a comfort bias to the tune. So if you go in to a corner too hard, you will be greeted by a fair amount of body roll and understeer, which is entirely understandable given this is, at the end of the day, at its core, right, still a Range Rover, still needed to prioritize comfort over outright sportiness. I mean, at the end of the day, if you want a sporty product from the JLR group, you have to go for the E-Pace or the F-Pace from Jaguar. All right, but what we have here in terms of its performance plus handling plus comfort is something that evidently tuned for use by average rather than enthusiastic drivers, and it's something that would serve very well for day-to-day driving. Okay, it's just that slight lag in the throttle response. It will be something that even average drivers will notice, but otherwise the overall handling, the ride comfort is something that should prove satisfactory for most. But yeah, the engine is strong. The gearbox, really, this ZF 9-speed gearbox, really, to me, it's really not that impressive. Okay, I mean, I can say that it's a smooth shifting gearbox, but it does nothing for me. It doesn't feel like many a times it feels like it doesn't know what to do with which of its 9 gears to choose, right, to give you the best acceleration or to give you the best cruising. So in a way, maybe this is a transmission that has a few gears too many. Now, one thing the suspension does do very well, even though it's not what we would call a sporty suspension setup, is that it does fantastic justice to the Land Rover name. All right, but now you go through over some of those bad patches of road. It soaks up the terrain, okay, whilst keeping the body absolutely planted on the ground. So you can't take a very fast corner with this, all right, but you won't have to slow down when the roads get rough. So overall, this new Evoque, all new Evoque, all right, it doesn't look like it has changed much, but what I will tell you is that the features that they packed into this car consist of both the impressive and the thoughtful. What I particularly like, would be the door open warning. That's one. The other one would be the see-through camera. That's the other, and also of course the roof antenna camera. All right, that gives you an unobstructed view of the rear quarters through your rear view mirror. All these are features that don't just have packed a lot of wow factor, but it shows, you know, that they thought things through. You know, they put in an effort to put things in there which they think would make your ownership of the car experience a more pleasant one, and I appreciate that. So this, at 475,000 ringgit, make no mistake, this thing is not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. And for the same amount of money, you can buy a Volvo XC90 with change to spare, with far bigger interior space, no less attractive design, far superior performance, and also handling that is probably even better. But the thing with the Evoque is that this car goes more than just practical considerations. It is also as much an expression of style, and that was right from the start. The Evoque's proposition, even from the original Evoque launched like nearly 10 years ago, it was always meant to be a stylish product, but underneath it, it still carries the full off-roading capability of a proper Land Rover or Range Rover, if you like.